Okay. Thank you so much, Amy, and thank you, Brian, and thank you for the guests that have joined today. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all. I know there's a lot of small business owners here in Pittsburgh and in the Peters Township Chamber. My focus today is to educate you on marketing your business on Google and social media. There are tons of digital different avenues that you can do. This is just specifically talking about advertising and social media advertising. This isn't not so much about the organic side of things, not your Google business profile, reputation. Those are other things that I can really talk to you about as well. But today's topic is about mostly on advertising on Google and social platforms and different websites. Oh, good, Amy?
All good. Sounds great. Well, we welcome you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Again, this is marketing your business on Google and social media. Presented by Rev Local, of course, Chris Jacobson here representing. And we are sponsored today by Monica Mela of Coldwell Banker Real Estate. So just take it away, Chris.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. Yeah, just to let you know, this is me, Chris Jacobson, born and raised here in Pittsburgh, not too far from Peters Township. And I've been with Rev Local for almost 7 years. So I've been partnering with small to medium-sized businesses for the last 7 years, helping them navigate this crazy online world that changes every single day. I mean, almost every probably hour things have changed just because consumers have changed and Google is always changing and adapting. So again, like I mentioned, today's topic is paid advertising. So what is paid advertising? Paying is the own of any ad space in exchange for visibility, as opposed to your organic rankings. I always like to say paid advertising is more like renting than owning. So how can you get your information at the top? How can you get in front of more people? So you are paying those whether it's Google or social media platforms. So fun fact, Google makes 90% of their revenue on paid advertising. So they're going to make sure that these streams are working for small business owners. If you do them the right way, then you're going to be able to hopefully capture more business, which is the goal, and more visibility for your business. So paid advertising is a great way to show up and rent that space, but it is not the organic or owning those spots with your website or your Google placements on maps. So why should you give paid ads a chance? So, when you look at, here's some statistics here on the left side, I'll let you read those. But really, paid advertising is a way for you to market your products or services in front of people who might be not in your local area, but for an area where you're trying to gain business from. So for example, if you do live in Peters Township and you're like, all right, hey, I really need to target Canonsburg, or I need to target more down into Washington, your local search results on Google typically don't reach that far. It's going to be depending on really the competition of the business that you're in. So paid ads is going to be able to give you opportunity to be outside of your localized area. So, and we can also target on specific keywords that you're trying to focus on. So if there's seasonality, if you have a product or service that is your best profit margins and money makers, you can really put a lot of budget built into those keywords. Oh, let me mute this. So what are your business goals? When you look at your business, I know we have a photographer on as well. So it really is like, what is it we need to do to make sure that you can get your business in front of more people? Is there seasonality for your business? Do you have a certain audience that you're trying to target? So whether those are, men, women, children, is it a certain age? Is it a certain income level? Is it certain interest? So it really is important to look at, what's going to make me money in my business and where really is my target audience? Is it locally, or do I need to really make sure that I stretch my business more in front of people and more eyes and opportunities to get more engagement, because that's where my target audience is? Let me make sure I feel like I lost the slide here. Sorry, guys. And then we are going to talk about some best practices with landing pages. I know a lot of you are familiar with your main websites, and it's great. A website is designed to make sure consumers can get more information about you. There could be multiple pages. There could be the About Me page, the services page, the target of location that you're servicing. But when you are running any types of advertising, best practices, whether they're on Google or whether they're on Facebook or Instagram, when you are searching for a keyword on Google, so I'll use the photography, for example. If you're using like, hey, I want family photography, when you click on that ad, it should direct mainly to a landing page that's going to be pictures about family photography. If it's going to a website that is going, hey, these are all my services, the landing page is helping that consumer say, this is exactly what I searched for. This is where I want to direct. And then that landing page can also filter back to your main website to learn about more services that you do offer. So landing pages are going to be a great way to track everything that you're doing. And exactly, again, going back to the consumer about, hey, what keyword did they search for? I did see, Amy, sorry, I was just, Pitt. Click from the ads to the landing page. This is just to show you a quick example. So if somebody is on the top of their Google search and they do see the ad at the very top, that's going to be above the map before the organic rankings for your website. When they click to that, this is just going to take it over to a landing page. Landing pages are straight call to action pages, where sometimes our websites, they don't have that call me now or book an appointment now or book a consultation right now. A landing page really should focus on the title, your business, and then have a straight call to action for that business, for that consumer, whether they want to call you, book an appointment, or even look at more that you are doing or services that you do offer. So definitely best practices for a landing page to make sure you have a straight call to action for people to make sure it's at the top, make sure there's a couple of them. Even if somebody does scroll through the landing page, it's great to have a couple of them, make sure so it's easy for people to get there. So where do I run the paid ads? So there's a lot of different ways that that you can run paid ads. So I really would go back to looking at, what type of business are you? And when I look at ads, I look at, do you want to meet demand? Do you want to create demand? Or are you trying to build brand awareness? If you're a meet demand business, think of it like, hey, somebody is out there searching for my products and services right now. You need to cover the meet demand phase. If somebody doesn't know your business or somebody is really not thinking about your business, that's where it's going to be more of that create demand. So if you're a business where you're like, hey, I just want to make sure I'm starting to get in front of people. I know my audience, but they might not be looking for me. That's where your social channels such as Facebook and Instagram are really going to help you from a create demand standpoint. So if I'm scrolling through Facebook, oh, I see this ad, I might not be looking for it, but hey, it's going to pique my interest for me to go ahead and click on it. And then there's the display branding and remarketing. Hey, maybe I've done a search for a photographer before, you know what? And then, a couple days later go past and then an ad shows up on a different website, whether it's, YouTube or ESPN.com, your ad can show up as a banner and it can show up, oh, there it is. Maybe I'll go back and click on that. So when you're thinking about your business, think about, am I a meet demand business? Am I creating demand? Or do I really just need to bring brand awareness to my business? This is going to show you a little bit about the display ads. So display ads are, like I would just mention with YouTube, ESPN, display ads are, if you're weather.com or PittsburghPostGazette.com and you see those ads that show up at the top or on the side, those are impression-based ads. So you can pay for impressions to be found on these different types of websites. And it really is geofence based off of your location. So if your pinpoint is right in Peters Township at your USPS address, we would geo-target a display ad. So your business name would display and show up on hundreds of different Google white page websites. So again, just to go back to ESPN.com, YouTube, weather.com, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. So if you're really just trying to get your brand out there and make sure that you're getting that visibility, this is a great way to also talk about, this is your digital billboard. People might not be thinking about it, but this is about to get in front of people in a geofenced area. Our next type of ads are our Google search ads. Google search ads are going to be those meet demand ads. So when somebody is doing a search, this is going to be the very first thing that shows up on their mobile device or their desktop. So Google search ads are going to be keyword targeted. So you're going to pick specific keywords that you want to focus on. You're also going to want to set it to where you're going to target that area. So if it's outside of your local area and you want a bigger radius, Google search ads allows that capability. You bid on specific keywords, and those keywords, when you click on this ad, so if I click on Baker Legal Services ad there, they would get charged for that click. They don't get charged for a call. They won't get charged for if somebody clicks on the website. Like I'm sorry, they do get charged, but if they do, so it isn't by a lead, it's by the click. So, and again, it goes back to Google says, okay, based off of competition in my area here in Peters Township or any of your other local areas, these are how many other law firms are running ads in this space. If there's more law firms running ads competing for placement, the higher the cost per click is going to be for that industry. If you are the only one, that click's going to come down. There's a lot of other variations in it as well. There's a lot of testing, but it really just comes down to how much competition is targeting in your area, which is going to dictate a percentage of that cost per click. Social media. I know I just talked about the meet demand piece. Social media is going to be now more creating demand. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and other different social channels. So it might be, let's say, hey, you want to target males that are between 45 and 55 in a certain geofenced area. Let's say you want to target Peters Township, McMurray. If someone is on their mobile device or on their Facebook and they're scrolling through and you set the demographics, the geography, we can have your ad show up there on their device. So, hey, learn a little bit more about what I'm doing as a business owner. I'm creating that awareness. Again, we're going to set it to the audience that you do know. That's why it's really important to know who your target audience is, to at least have an idea. So ads aren't just showing up in front of somebody who might not have any interest in what you do, but more people that, hey, I do know that this is going to be targeting. So social media is a great way for you to create that awareness, along with, if I'm going to meet the demand on Google, social media is going to be a great complementary to make sure we're creating that awareness. Product ads. This is if you're a business that has, you're doing e-commerce, you have a lot of different products that you're trying to sell on the web, whether it's on Amazon, eBay. This isn't something that I typically run into with a lot of local businesses, but it does come into play. But there are capabilities of making sure that you're following best practices to make sure you have pictures out there, making sure that things are flowing nicely through catalog scrolls on your Facebook as well. This is all based off of competition too, based off as how those cost per clicks are going to go for you as well. Local service ads. This is something that is new over the last couple years. This is going to be for any professional services and any or general contracting type services. So roofers, plumbers, heating and cooling guys, general contractors, these are going to help you. If you are a business with professional services, whether it's cleaning, hospitality side of things, real estate, attorneys, this is going to be available for you as well. So local service ads are another layer to the anatomy of a Google search. And as you can see on the far right, it shows up a little bit different than a Google ad. It shows up as a box. It says Google guaranteed, check mark, and then it really publishes out those reviews. So this is a pay per lead strategy for these types of business owners. It's not a pay per click. So if I click on Midwest Roofing, as before on a Google ad, I would get charged for the click. You would not get charged for the click on the Midwest Roofing. You would then get charged if I filled out a form or if I called Midwest Roofing from here is when you would get it. So it is a pay per lead strategy. So again, for professional services, this would be real estate, attorneys, financial advisors, etc. So how do you get ranked in there? Reviews have a big number of on how you get placed in the top 3 across the board there. So reviews are going to be really big. Mobile friendly of your website, just best practices that you are doing with Google. Business owners, for you to get into the Google Guaranteed or Google Service Ads, you do actually have to go through a thorough background check within Google. There are digital marketing companies out there that do the heavy lifting to make sure hey, we can get this all done for you, but it is a background check from the owner that they have to do, and they have to give Google the name of the employees that do work for them as well. So for you to get that is a background check that has to happen. Digital marketing companies typically do the heavy lifting for small business owners, because I know we are one of them, because it is a heavy process on the business owner's end. 90% of consumers 90% of those people that click on your website, those who visit your site for the first time, will leave without taking action. So this is going to be talking about the remarketing phase of advertising. So think about your business. Think about, hey, if somebody searches for what I do, am I a need it now business? Am I a plumber that, hey, my commode is backed up and I need somebody to get out here right now? This typically isn't the right strategy for them, because somebody's calling you, picking up their phone and saying, I need somebody right now. If you're a business where your sales cycle is long, so let's say somebody wants to do more research. For example, I know we have a photographer here. Excuse me. I know we have a photographer here. If somebody searches photography and they click on your website and then they leave and they forget, okay, I was doing that search, something happened to them, as far as like, I totally forgot I did that search. You invested money for them to get to your website, whether it was through organic search or if it was through a Google ad or a Facebook ad. I always ask business owners, how are you going to stay in front of them? What's your strategy to make sure that your investment from doing that Google click or that Facebook click or the efforts that you've done from an SEO standpoint, how are you going to stay in front of them? So I know it happens to all of us. You do a search, or you might say something at home and your Alexa picks it up. The next thing you know, it shows up on your Facebook page and you're like, what? Where did this come from? This is what we're talking about. So if somebody does click on your website, the capabilities of retargeting is to make sure you have a banner ad or some form of display ad or graphic ad that shows right back up on their feed so you can stay in front of them. And the good news is retargeting ads are a fraction of the cost of a page 1 Google click or a Facebook click. They're much cheaper because they're based off of impressions, because retargeting ads don't typically get clicked on a lot. You might see that ad on weather.com, or you might see it, on weather.com. Am I clicking on that? It's more you pay per impression. So they're a lot cheaper than a Google click. So this is going to be, hey, how can you stay in front of those people? So what are your first steps? So when you look at best practices and when you look at the opportunity on, hey, should I run it on Google, or should I run it on Facebook, or should I run it on display? I really think it just comes down to, what is your consumer doing? Are you a need it now business? Do you need to create the awareness so people know more about you? Or are you in that phase where you're like, hey, look, I really got a lot of business. I just want to make sure I'm staying in front of them, making sure that my branding is staying on top. What we do find is that when you have customers or business owners that are running it on all platforms, you're going to have the most effective strategy. So I'm going to throw investment money within Google so I can meet that demand. I'm going to show a little bit of money in Facebook and Instagram, and some retargeting to make sure I'm covering all of those cylinders there. So meet demand, create demand, and also remarketing. I do see a chat. Let me see here. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Amy, for the various industries. Thank you guys so much for joining. So just going back to this, when you look at your cross-platform strategy, meet demand in my business, that is, hey, do I need to be on the top of Google? Do I need to be found there? hey, if I need to create that awareness because people don't know who I am or I don't exist and people don't really search for me, that's where your social platforms are going to be in play. And then again, remarketing. So when you can do a little bit of each of these strategies all into one, it really makes it really effective for you as the business owner. And I know budget will come into play. That's why it's really important to have a partner that says, hey, with this investment, we're better off putting it here, or we're better off putting it there, or what are those goals? Or is it more of like, we just need to do retargeting? So again, when you look at, having a partner help you with this stuff, where are they going to best make sure your money's well spent and get the most effective visibility, clicks and clicks? So strategy best practices, make sure that you're using consistent messages, or make sure that you're I talked about this, targeting the right audience, making sure that the conversions are easy. A/B testing, I know you're probably like, what the heck is that? And that's really going to talk about like getting help with some other marketing agencies or experts that are doing this consistently. So when we talk about consistent messaging, you might be running an ad out there and you might have done it for about a month and you're like, oh, I didn't really get a lot of traction on this ad, so I'm going to switch it up. Typically what we find, that's not the right way to do it, because you have to get your ad in front of that same person multiple times, like typically around 7-8 times, for them to start making interaction with your brand. If you start changing it all the time, you're not seeing the same messaging over and over and over again. So when you do have that messaging, it's good to have a couple different ones, but just keep it consistent, keep your branding the same, change it up. And that's where it comes into like testing it. Like, am I getting engagement? Am I getting clicks? Am I getting people to call me? I'm getting the right types of leads. So really, again, just comes down to, don't change it up, give it time, because Google and Facebook, they're all learning, and your audience is seeing it multiple times, which is what you want. Make conversions easy. We talked about those landing pages. If you're investing on Google or Facebook and you have a lead generation strategy, if somebody clicks on your ad, you want to make sure that they can take action to call you, to fill out a form, to schedule a free consultation. So whatever you're doing, if someone clicks on your ad, make sure it loads fast. That happens, right? You click on a website and you're like, oh my goodness, it's taking forever to load and things to happen. Make sure that you boom, click to call you, click to fill out that form to make it easy for that consumer, because if not, they'll jump ahead to the next page. Target the right audience. Definitely, again, recommend, you might not know it all, but who is that? And also, or do you need an expert to help you understand that and just see, hey, here's some tools that I think are the best. This is how many people are searching in your area. This is typically the demographics, etc. A/B testing. A/B testing is really what you're going to be doing with any advertising campaign. So if you are a certain type of business and you have a lot of different keywords that you're trying to focus on, what A/B testing is you're saying, okay, these are all the keywords that I feel that my consumers are going to be searching for. And we also are looking on Google's back end to say, hey, this is the top keyword searches that are happening in your geographic area. So this is what we're going to go ahead and test. And then in your first month, you're going to run that campaign and say, okay, look, only these three ad groups got the best clicks and conversions. The next month is when now the digital marketing team, you now invest more dollars towards the ones that perform the best. And then it goes a cycle every single month. It's always constant of like tweaking on, all right, hey, what's getting the best conversions? What's getting the most click-throughs on my ad groups? And hey, this is where I can see things to really work and fire on all cylinders. When you look at Google Ads, it really good. Take 3 to 4 months to really start your ads to start really progressing to be working really well for you. So when I talked earlier about why to give them a chance, there may be some people on here that have done it for a month or 2 months. What we find is it's just not long enough. It's a long-term strategy, but it's instant visibility, and it's constant testing. It's constant changing, whether it's keywords, the landing pages. So making sure that you're doing it for a long time, but also making sure an expert is watching it for you and making those tweaks as necessary. So it still is a long-term play. It's instant visibility, but because there's a lot of testings and changings. Last thing is, guys, make sure that you're tracking it, whether it's yourself or whether it's with a company. Make sure that you have tracking data. So the clicks, the calls, best practices is to have a call tracking number on these ads. This is a great way for you to know that your campaign is working, but it's also a great way for you to say, okay, like, are the leads that are coming in, are they qualified leads, or are they not really the best leads that are coming through? Engagement, how many are my posts getting engagement? Am I getting the right type of reach? So highly recommend, because you might say, hey, I might do a search, you might be investing in some type of advertising and you don't see your own ad. That's just probably because you're looking for it. It does happen. This is why tracking and putting things on this are so important, to know, hey, am I effectively improving? And this is how you compare and contrast month over month and month over month and 6 months and 12 months. So definitely highly recommend, no matter what you do, make sure that you have some type of tracking tool, because you don't want to be wasting your money. Because you know, you can spend a lot of money and you'd be like, oh man, it didn't work out, but make sure that you have some data to back that up. Last thing here is, I know I talked a lot about Google advertising, Facebook advertising, but just to let you all know, you know, here at RevLocal, we have a site. I have the site down here at the bottom, and I know this is being recorded, so you guys can have that. But there's a lot of different marketing blogs and contents out there that we give to everybody. We give them to our small business owners, whether you're a client or not. So there's lots of things to learn, whether it's within your website, your search engine optimization piece, your local search marketing, your reputation management, review marketing, all these paid advertising. So there's a lot of things that are out there for you to take a look at that is free for you to learn up on. So when you have a chance, please go ahead and look at our website to dive into that. I know I'm really super short on this because I know we had an hour, but it went a little bit quicker. It's about 30 minutes. But just so you guys know, I know this is a lot of information, and hopefully it was educational and beneficial for you. I do offer free consultations to any small business owner. Like I said, I worked here for 7 years and helping all small business owners. Whether it's, even if you already have somebody, there's always opportunities to make sure, like, hey, can we enhance things, or what are the things that you could be doing, and not just on the paid advertising piece. If you're just like, hey, I want to make sure I'm organically sound and found, then that's something that I can definitely educate you on as well. So again, thank you so much to everybody who did jump on. My contact information is below. If you feel free to reach out at any time, I'm happy to answer any other questions and make anything more customizable personally for you. And then my focus on that is education. And I see a question. Okay. I see you, Aim. Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, go ahead. Do you want to answer any, comment on any of those questions?
Yeah,
or?
let me see.
Okay.
Hi, Nancy. Yeah, definitely. I will, let me know what works best for you. I can make sure that you get my cell phone number and we can set up a time to meet up.
Wonderful. Yes, if anyone else has any questions here, again, just to remind you, this is being recorded. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the Q&A right now for Chris. And I have a question while we're, there was a question that came in, like, just on average, I know it depends on the industry and things. What is cost per click? Are we talking pennies? Like, what are we talking there?
Yeah, I wish. You hit the nail on the head, Amy. You said it depends on your industry. So Google's very smart on what type of business, like Google knows the profit that you're going to get off of one new job. They have an idea. So and what I mean by that, if you're a plumber and you're servicing a job, Google has an idea roughly what that new client is to you. If you're a coffee shop, Google knows, again, what that new coffee shop revenue is to you. So there's going to be a huge difference there from a click standpoint.
Okay.
And it also depends on competition. If I'm a plumber that lives in Peters Township and there's 15 other plumbers running ads in that area, Google's going to say, hey, that's going to really put the cost per click up. When you have general contractors and professional services, that range can be anywhere from $10 a click to $60 a click. That's why it's just so hard to where that's where you got to have a tool and a team to say, okay, this is the right amount of budget, because our goal isn't necessarily the clicks. Our goal is to get those conversions. So if you're investing, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, are we getting you the right conversions to make sure we're covering that, but also make sure you're getting more leads? It's a great question. I get it all the time. There's just so many factors on the search volume, the competition, and the industry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Let me see here. Hi, Nancy. I changed my business name on Google. I was told it would affect my search ranking. It was really true. So there's a couple factors that can go into that, and we can definitely do this on a one-off, but Google is a big robot, and Google relies on other different types of search engines and directories to gather their information. And there's probably 60, 70, 80 other directories. And hey, what's a directory? Facebook is a directory. Yelp is a directory. MapQuest is a directional directory. So if you're not doing it on all of those 60, 70, 80 platforms, yeah, Google will see that it's changed, and you would know, but Google would be like, I just don't know if that stuff is right. So that could push down those search results depending on your business and industry. Yeah, for sure. So Google relies on other different search engines and directories to feed that name, address, and phone number. Oh, there's more questions here. How often should you post for free offers? I used to come up quickly for personal training. Yep, Nancy, we can definitely one off that with the offers that you're trying to do. I would just need to learn more about what type of, whether it's just personal or group trainings. But yeah, I guess you would say you used to come up quickly, but when you change the name, if things aren't on other different platforms and it's your old name, Google's going to see different names. And then if I'm doing a search, Google's gonna be like, I don't trust the information because there's different stuff, which will push you down. I said I only changed my name. I am on all platforms. But yeah, so I just would have to see if you change your names on Bing, on Yahoo, on all those other main directories as well, because that would factor in. Yeah, that's the problem. It's not like it went back in the day. We would just be able to put our name in Yellow Pages, and that was the only source. Like that was it. But now there's just so many other search engines, and there's so many other ways to get data. Like even the Chamber of Commerce has a directory name, and if your name is different in that, that's just an example. Google will see that, and that's what can cause confliction. So Google just doesn't trust it.
I think the younger generation wouldn't even know what Yellow Pages are.
Yep, everyone, I mean, 90% and above is Google searching, but Google relies on other business listings to validate it. Because Google, at the end of the day, Google's job is to give the consumer the best possible results, not the business owner. Unfortunately, it's, hey, what am I giving my consumer the best possible answer for that search inquiry? But Nancy, please shoot me a text, and we can definitely set up a webinar. I can do a full thorough dive into the back end of your business and see what's happening online and educate you on that.
All right. I don't see any other questions at this point, Chris. Just want to thank you again for being here. Again, this is Marketing Your Business on Google and Social Media, presented by Rev Local. Chris Jacobson here is the rep there, and he is local and he can do a lot for you. So please reach out to us and we will get the contact information to you on how to contact him. And this has been recorded, so it will be up on our YouTube channel. You can just search Peters Township Chamber of Commerce. That'll be up within the next couple of days, and it'll be on our YouTube channel, and you'll get all of this wonderful information that Chris has presented to you again. So
thank you. Thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate you and Brian and the team to just allow me to jump on here. And again, I'm just a resource for anybody out there that needs help, because it's a crazy digital world. So thank you so much.
It is a crazy complex digital world. So we really appreciate all your expertise. And thanks again to Monica Mela of Coldwell Banker Real Estate for sponsoring this webinar today.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. And we hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for joining us all. If you have any questions, please reach out and we will direct you in the right way. All right. Take care.